वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। So the last, what we see, Atmaha, Ayam Atmaha, na hanyate hanyamane sharire. Okay, so this Atma is not dead when the body is dead. Okay, so therefore when the body is born, na jayate mriyate va kadashit. When body is born, Atma is not born. When the body goes, Atma does not go. Okay, and body, many different bodies come and go. Atma doesn't come and go with many different bodies. From the beginning of the universe to now, how many bodies have gone and come? Countless. How many bodies will come and go? Countless. Right? What is the nature of Atma is, it is Drik, right? It is this awareness which is all pervading, which does not get affected. While pervading Drishya, it does not get affected by the characteristics of Drishya. We saw that. Okay? Having seen that, that's why we said, now this Atma then, if it is not all this, it is Ajaha, unborn, Nityaha, okay? Not subject to time, because time changes, space-time framework is constantly undergoing change. Objects that exist within space-time framework are constantly going change. The Drik, the awareness, is distinct from Drishya. Okay? It does not undergo any change. Ajaha, Nityaha, Shashvataha. It does not take on the characteristics of Drishya. Drishya have many different characteristics. Okay? One Drishya, one body is different from another body. One mind is different from another mind. The body, human body is different from every other species. Human mind is different from all the other species' mind. All that is something which has attributes, they are specific, one is different from the other, but those are characteristics of Drishya. Drik is never touched by characteristics of Drishya. Right? Shashvataha, always remaining untouched, unchanging. Okay? Then Puranaha, ever new. What does it really mean? Now, this category that we had created initially, which is what? Drik, and the other one is Drishya. It may seem to you that Drik and Drishya enjoy the same order of reality. In order to further examine the relationship between Drik and Drishya, we took one object which belongs to Drishya category. Where did we start? Table. Okay? And that object that we generally think is the reality, our whole transaction with the world is, we take table as the absolute reality. Okay? Now, what Vedas say is, there is some reality. We are not denying that, we are not saying it's an illusion, we are not saying it's false. What we are saying is, it has a dependent reality. That's why we give a name called Mithya. Okay? So that means it has a dependent reality. What did we see? It goes on and on and on, right? Everything, there is, where I see table, there is what? Form within forms, within forms, within forms. Where do I end? In concepts, okay? You take table and you take the star. You take the sun. you take the moon, which belongs to Drishya category. Same story. Right? Don't think that this inquiry only belongs to this little table here. Everything. Think about the star which is far away. Think about the sun. What is it? Yes. Atoms. Okay. Atoms, again what? Particles. Everything. Take any object in this world. It's exactly the same. Nothing but atoms. Atoms are nothing but particles. Then what? Ultimately, you end in a concept. Okay. So now, this whole Drishya category. Now, let us look at one more thing. The body also belongs to Drishya category.
2 pennies worth, they say.
Yeah. So now, look at this body is nothing but cells. Right? So cell is Satyam, body is Mithya, because without cells there is no object called body. The cells themselves are what? Mithya. They depend upon what? Medical doctor. What?
Electrons and proteins.
Yeah.
DNAs, RNAs.
DNAs, RNAs. Right? So therefore, this physical body, like everything else, like the table, is what? Nothing but mithya. It is forms within forms within forms, all very well arranged.
Following the
Ultimately,
natural law.
yeah, following natural laws. Those laws, what are they? We will see later. Right? So therefore, even this physical body is mithya. Okay. That means the entire physical universe is mithya. It is nothing but concept. Now, what is the relationship between, now what are we left with? Drik, which is awareness, and Drishya, which seemed to us to have these infinite objects. They're all collapsed into concepts. Right? Now, you need to ask one last question. What is the relationship between concept and awareness? Are they two independent realities? What is the relationship between concept and awareness? Can any concept exist without awareness?
No.
No. Does awareness need concept for its existence?
No.
No. So that means between the concept, which is Drishya, which is what? It depends upon what?
Awareness.
Druk, awareness, for its existence. Whereas Drik, awareness, is independent of anything else. Upanishad Vakyam, Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. What is this Brahman? I am Atma Brahman. What is this Brahman? Hey, you. The awareness. What is this Atma? What is this Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahman. It is existence, it is consciousness, it is limitless. It pervades everything, and whatever it pervades has no independent existence from awareness. Whereas awareness is independently existing. Upanishad Vakyam. What is Lord Krishna saying here? Atma Ajaha. It's unborn. Nityaha. Truth of time and space. Shashvataha. What? Untouched by anything that is there. Puranaha, everything else depends upon it for its existence. This is what we call samanvaya. Analysis of Vakya, what Upanishads say is exactly what Lord Krishna says. This is why every time at the end of every chapter, we say, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Su Upanishadsu. Whatever said in Upanishad is said in Bhagavad Gita. What is the subject matter of Upanishad and Bhagavad Gita? Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. The Vidya that you are Brahman and how to prepare yourself so that you can see this reality accurately. Yoga Shastra, whole human growth and maturity that is required for you to contain this vision. Every growth that Bhagavad Gita is talking about is in view with this vision, which is the ultimate vision. This is why in yesterday's class we saw two birds. Upanishads. One, which is that upper now, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahman. What is the so-called lower bird? Ahankara, where you put your eye. This Ahankara or the mind is focused where? Down below. The one's true nature, as long as the focus is out there, one's true nature is always missed out. And you are missed out.
Missed out.
Okay.
And you try to fix the world and you are never successful. Okay. Then a wise person comes and shows this little bird who's struggling, you know, there is a much bigger reality about you than what you have settled for. The bird which was looking down, where does it start to look for the solution? Looks up. Where? Towards where? Where is up? In the heavens? Towards oneself, which is always there. This is where yesterday, when we were looking for this whole solution, Neeru very rightly said, in this whole analysis, the focus is out. When we looked at some models, okay, and this is where, in your success, if you want to solve this whole puzzle of your existence in this universe, you have to look where? Yeah, what is your real nature? Because your real nature is not just inward, it is the truth of the whole universe. That's where the key to what? The solution to this puzzle is hiding. And you never look there. The minute you begin to look at this upper bird, what do you realize? This upper bird is not this little bird, but there was a halo there, right? What is that halo? That is what? That awareness is not something which is limited to you or anything. That awareness which is self-evident in your buddhi as I, which observes everything, is the truth of the whole universe. And the entire universe depends, collapses into this awareness. There are no two. There is only one. What a discovery. Where are you and where Upanishads and Gita take you? Right? Now, the question, so that is what Gita says is exactly the same as what Upanishads are talking about. Right? Now, the question is, right, that awareness is the truth of the whole universe, but you are born connected to one given body and mind. Right? So what brings about that as though connection, which fools us all? Right? So this is where, let's look at the next verse, which is saying, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grannati naroparani tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani anyani sanyati navani dehi. You will chant after me. Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya
Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya
Navani grannati naroparani
Navani grinnati naroparani
Tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani
Tatha sharirani vihaya jirnani
Anyani sanyati navani dehi.
Anyani sanyati navani dehi.
Okay. So, what's your relationship to the body and why this body comes about? Okay. You are given this body. Now, who is this I? The world, as we saw, is set up in a way that you come in connection with one given body and mind. Because of that connection, we make what? This error. What is the mix-up we do? The drishya, the characteristic of one particular drishya we take on as our characteristic. Okay? Then we suffer from sense of limitation, which is what we call inadequacies or whatever. We cannot stand these inadequacies, so we need to get rid of these inadequacies. Sense of lack, limitation, everything not being well. So, where is our whole senses? Where are they oriented? Outside, towards the world.
To acquire.
Exactly. So now, the way we engage in the world is, I feel inadequate because of the mistake that I have made. Then, I need to feel adequate. That is a basic human need. Then, where do my eyes are given, my ears are given, where? There is this whole big world given to me. So in order to get rid of my inadequacies, what do? I engage in the world. Because I cannot stand my inadequacies. Okay? When I engage in the world, what is the medium through which I engage in the world?
My body and the mind.
Excellent, right? The body and the mind is required for me to engage in the world. Okay? Why? Because the sense organs, what do? They see different forms. The eyes see forms, ears hear sounds, nose picks up smell, right? The sense of touch, what? It gives sensations. Sense of taste gives different taste, right? So therefore, this is what, and having reported what is outside, where are the signals sent? In the mind. The mind processes this information, and this is why two people going through the same situation will respond very differently. Why? Where is the difference?
In the mind.
In the mind. The way the mind has processed that information. Okay? So therefore, now, and based on that processing of the information, what will I do? Perform an action. and because I need to engage in the world. Okay? Once I perform an action, there are laws applying. Just as there are laws applying which enable for me to see forms, I just can't see whatever I want to see. There are laws which govern how and how much my eyes can see, in what range my eyes can see. There are laws which are connecting external sounds to my ears. There are laws which are connecting what? My sense organs with my mind. All these things are governed by laws. They are not just random. Okay? If all these are governed by laws, which are what? At times we call it laws of anatomy, laws of physics, laws of biology, laws of physiology. There are all these different laws.
Right.
Right? Then, and how long do these laws operate? Do these laws have any time frame? They started 5 years ago? They started 10 years ago?
Oh,
They come with creation.
okay.
Everything that I do in this universe is connected through series of laws. It's not just random forms which are mithya like that. No. After having, then, why is it that two human beings receive similar data and understand the data differently? Which laws are applying? Laws of psychology.
Laws of psychology.
Even there is laws. Please understand that the whole Drishya Jagat is connected through series of interconnected laws. Nobody can be away from those laws. If there is series of laws which are applying in everything that I do, then when I perform an action, the result is governed by what?
By a law.
By another law. There is nothing which is away from the laws. Okay? So those actions I perform, which is what I call karma, then there is the laws which is one of the manifestation of series of laws, which is what we call what? Which will govern what? The result of that action. Okay? So therefore, we say, whenever a human being performs an action, there is law of karma. There are two critical laws, which is law of dharma and law of karma. Because I have a choice, which I kept on emphasizing on, okay? That choice human being has to choose. What is that choice? In Sanskrit, we say there is this choice which is I can do it, kartum shakyam, I need not do it, akartum shakyam, then I can do it differently. Anyatha va kartum shakyam.
Okay.
This choice I have. Okay? Then, if I have the choice, there has to be something which is also given to me to guide these choices. Right? So this is what we call the fabric of dharma. Okay? Human mind understands what is right and what is wrong intuitively. Along with the brain comes this understanding, simple understanding. A child knows I don't want to be hurt, and also others don't want to be hurt. The child knows I don't want to be cheated, others don't want to be cheated. The child knows, I don't want to be lied to and others don't want to be like this. Okay? So this is what we call the fabric of dharma, which is already there, is intuitively available to every human being. It is part of the creation. If there were laws, and if I did not know that they existed, I am not responsible. If there are laws and I intuitively understand, but I don't follow them, then what? Then you are responsible. Okay? So therefore, the minute I have free will, I have been given that information which guides my choice. And because I at times don't follow what I understand, therefore I am responsible. Okay? So this is what we call every action that I do, okay, will have result based on the extent to which I have followed dharma or not followed dharma.
Neemaji, what if you're not aware of these laws or the guidelines?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. A human mind is born with this,
With
it's,
the knowledge.
it's given this knowledge. This is why.
So I
Right.
cannot claim
You
ignorance
can't
as an
claim
excuse.
ignorance. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, a human mind which is operating in a normal capacity knows this. This is why. Yeah. So then you have seen result and unseen result. Drishta phalam and adrishta phalam. Okay? What is the seen result? The minute you go against dharma, you can use your brain to justify whatever. But you can't get away from the inner voice which talks to yourself. You can use your intellect in the most brilliant manner to say, now these are the factors and this is what I did. We are all experts at doing that. But we can't. The laws are cleverer than us. They don't stop to give us feedback about our actions. So there is a seen result. When I transgress dharma, then a feedback is given to me. What is the feedback which is given to me? I feel guilty. I have fear. I begin to at times develop low self-esteem because I know one thing to be right, and what? In my own vision, I can't do the right things. These are all seen results. Immediate feedback that is coming from the universe. Please don't think the universe is dead. Then the problems get compounded over a period of time when I know that I know one thing but I don't follow that. How long in my vision it takes for somebody else not to follow it. Then what happens? I become suspicious of others. Because I know that I know something and I don't follow it. Then in my vision, what? How long? You will also be the same in my vision. Because I can do it, you can also do it. So that means you can't take anybody at the face value. You're always what? Suspicious. When somebody is saying something, your thing is what? What is the motive? You can't trust anybody. There is a lack of trust. Series of consequences for going against universal values. We don't even know about it. Okay? You imagine your mind is filled with fear, guilt, low self-esteem, suspicion, distrust, and this is the lens that you wear when you interact with the universe what is going to be the nature of your interaction. It is, there are high costs for going against dharma. Okay? Dharma is not about an intellectual discussion on some abstract thing. Dharma is, if there is a dharma, let me understand how it works and align my life with this working of this dharma. This is the mindset. Otherwise you can get into infinite amount of intellectual arguments where there are no answers. Okay. This is one of the critical laws. If I don't recognize its presence, if I don't see what all it entails, I am at a loss. I make a huge loss. Then what the Vedas say is, in addition to all these seen results, there are what we call unseen results. Unseen result of a appropriate action is what we call punya. An unseen result of an inappropriate action is what we call papa. Okay? So that means the actions, in addition to doing all these things, they will also produce, if I have done something good, it will produce what? Some favorable situation for me. But when that favorable situation comes, there are certain things which are known to me, certain things which are unknown to me. What is that unknown? What is now, what we had said unknown is what? Adrishta phala. My own what? Punya and papa. Because I don't know which action that I had performed
Has given me this result.
exactly. So from my own standpoint it is unknown.
And prayer?
So when I, 1 minute, right? So from my standpoint it is unknown. But from the standpoint of the order, is it unknown? No.
From the standpoint of
The order of cause and effect.
order of cause and
Yeah.
effect. Yes.
The order of cause and effect, it is not
It
unknown.
is not unknown. Okay. Okay.
Of course, we use that term adrishta only for good phala.
But it is both. It includes both. Sorry, what is your question, Vinod?
And prayer, when
Yeah, so now, when I say that the known variable is what I identify, what I can do, there is unknown, which is my own past causes of which I am not aware, which are producing result today. Okay. So therefore, now if I know that there is an order which is bringing together all these variables which are what? Known to me and unknown to me, what will I do? Now Vinod is asking, what is the role of a prayer here? What do I do?
And try to work towards appropriate action.
Excellent. So that means I add one more variable in form of my positive affirmation
Information
to that order
and efforts.
and exactly. So therefore, as I said, when you add one more variable, that variable joins that whole pool, and what does it do? Tilts the result
In your
in
favor.
my favor. It's just game of probabilities. Because I don't know what are all the unknown variables. Okay? So, but by adding each variable, what are you doing? You are changing the configuration in your favor.
So when you're saying why something is happening to me or this happened to me really good, you mean to say these are all your karma?
Yeah, exactly. They are unfolding every second. Your karma phalas are unfolding. right? Because it's not difficult to figure out. Today who you are is just a function of what you did this morning? No. It is a function of what? How the series of decisions that you have made since the time that you were born. I mean, since the time that you were a teenager maybe. You can't say that you're totally independent of that. Okay? But what you do today, is your future totally predetermined? No, because it's a continuum. When you say cause and effect relationship, what does it mean? It's a continuum. So what you do today will what? Influence what?
My future.
Your future.
So if I do good things, I can look forward to a better future.
Absolutely. Right? So that is what we say human choice. The results come in front of you sometimes, situations come in front of you which could be challenging. And when those situations come, we get into a frame of mind where we see, oh, there are no solutions. We put such a grim kind of a whole thing that I am totally helpless and I am a victim. What we forget is the choice, the free will is always with us. Every little effort we make will add. It may not be very visible next minute, but what? It will add up to change what? Visibly something in the future. Okay? So this is what we say, the laws of dharma and laws of karma. Now, all these adrishta phala that I have, unseen result that I have, one lifetime is not enough for me to go through all the results.
Okay.
That means this life has ended. What has happened? Huge unseen results are yet in my account, for which I have not experienced the result. What am I given? Another body. To go through what? The experiences which are what? In my account, which are unseen, which will what? Become seen.
How is it transferred?
I am given means the awareness is
Okay,
given.
no. This is something that this awareness, as I said, is this reality, but you are born with what? One given body and mind.
Right.
Okay? Now you think there is this individual who thinks I'm as good as the body and mind.
Correct.
So this entity is what we call jiva.
Okay.
Okay? Now what is this jiva? This jiva has ignorance about one's true nature.
Correct.
Okay? So as long as there is ignorance, what did I say? That I feel, I impute the attribute of body and mind as my attribute.
Correct.
Okay? And then I cannot stand the limitation. So in order to get rid of this limitation, what do? I engage in the world. When I engage in the world, I perform actions and then the results come to me. So this entity, jiva, which is ignorance fraught with, awareness fraught with ignorance, okay, continues, this entity continues until and takes on what? Different birth to different bodies over a period to experience unseen result of one's actions. Okay?
Jiva concept
Jiva,
is not clear.
okay, no, it's okay. Jiva is what we say is an entity. The entity is this awareness who doesn't know that, it doesn't know my true nature. Okay? Because of not knowing my true nature, what? There is ignorance. Ignorance about what? Right now we are all awareness, but we don't know exactly. We are jivas. Forget about understanding some jiva. Hey, you is a jiva, I am a jiva. I don't know my true nature. I take myself to be this individual. Okay? Now I am looking for satisfaction. I am jiva. Then I collect what? Result.
Okay.
Now this body is old. It is not able to go through different experiences to experience everything that is in my account.
Right.
Now what happens? This body goes
And I get a new body.
and you get a new body.
To go through the rest of my
Right?
karma.
So that means jiva. Right? So what does jiva constitute? It constitutes the physical body, right? That is the physical body, which is what we call sthula sharira. The mind, which as Anna said, is part of sukshma sharira, and then the causes which bring about this given physical and subtle body for me, which is what we call karana sharira.
Sorry, last one?
Karana sharira,
Karana
the
sharira.
causal body. So what does this causal body constitute? It constitutes the unseen result of the actions of the jiva. Because all my physical body is different from your physical body, because my causes are different from your causes. I have performed different actions and you have performed different actions. Okay? So jiva is awareness due to ignorance, taking oneself to be limited, and then what? Identifying with what? Sthula, sukshma and karana sharira. And that goes on. Right? So this is what Lord Krishna is saying, that this jiva will continue as long as the ignorance remains intact. Ignorance of Atma, what is my real nature, which is awareness, is not known or not inquired into. What happens?
Okay, continue in ignorance.
There is a continuation of what? Actions, the unseen result. The unseen result give rise to different bodies, and then what? Giving up, here he says, Vasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya. Okay? Old bodies are incapable of giving me the experiences of unseen result. Then vihaya, giving up, navani grinnati naraha parani. Okay? I take on new bodies to experience unseen result of my own actions. Okay? How long does it continue?
Till the time that awareness comes.
Exactly. Till the time that in given lifetime you come with a physical body and the mind, and you inquire, am I as good as this physical body? Am I as good as Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira or Karana Sharira? That possibility of inquiry is there with the help of Upanishads and Gita. What you realize? The physical body, I am not. The subtle body, I am not. The causal body, am I the causal body? No.
No.
Why? Correct, your answer is right. Why?
Because it is
Constant change.
constant change is there.
Exactly, right? What is your relationship with karma? Are you the karma or you perform the karma?
I perform the
You perform,
You
the
perform
karma.
karma, right? So if karma is not you, then the result of karma, which is part of causal body, is it I?
That is also not.
That is also not my nature. In any given lifetime, you recognize this fact that I am not the physical body, nor the subtle body, nor the causal body, then who am I?
You go to
Sat, Chit, Ananda, Atma.
that is why when you go beyond pap and punya, that is
Exactly.
that is
Right?
beyond the
That
causal
means
body.
you have undone this whole, this ignorance which was giving you different bodies, connecting you to different results. That whole thing, the whole job is over.
Even if it has got some account balance.
Yeah, exactly. Because account will have infinite balance. And physically, when you try to expend some balance, you acquire new ones. Right? You come in one given body to experience the result of your action. Not only you experience the result of your actions through different situations that you go through, but you also respond to situations which will accumulate more karmas. So it's impossible to exhaust all the karmas. The only way to get out of this cycle is what? To know your true nature. And that possibility is given.
Is given. And it can be achieved in a lifetime.
It can be achieved in a lifetime.
That is what
This is what we call moksha.
This is what we call as moksha. So there could be a life of the jiva
Yes,
after experience a moment of moksha.
excellent. Yes. In fact, what you are saying is that in that physical body, which has the subtle body and which has been brought about through causes, right? Now I'm born, you are born, okay? Now, one thing is common to all of us is we are ignorant about the true nature of I.
Correct.
Okay? Now, many people have continued to be what? Thinking that this is who I am and continue to what? Engage in the world and there is no end. You have figured out that this way, there is no way to get the freedom from limitation that I am searching for. This is not the way. You have also figured out the fact that if I have to do something, right, to become free, then what? It's going to always be limited. You come to the Shastra which tells you your true nature is already free. You expose yourself to this Shastra which takes you systematically in this whole inquiry of who you are. They work at what level? At the very fundamental level of ignorance. They make you see that you're not this physical body, you're not the mind, you're not even the causal body. Now, what have you done? Provided you understand exactly what Shastra is saying, so that means what is the intention of the Shastra and what is understood by you, there is a complete alignment.
Okay.
Okay? Then what happens? The ignorance goes.
Goes.
Right? When the ignorance goes, what happens to that person? That is your question.
That's right.
Right? Now the question, in order to answer that question, we need to further divide karmas in three categories. Okay? The karma is, one is what we call Sanchita karma. What is Sanchita karma? As Kalaimani was saying, the entire account which is there.
That's right. The opening
The
balance.
entire, the huge balance of how many lifetimes? Infinite lifetimes. Okay? This is why in Sanskrit we call it Samchit, means collected karma, which are well collected. Means there is an order to how they are collected. Okay? This is Sanchita karma, which is all the unseen result of your actions. Okay? Out of this
So it's a
unseen
bank
result,
of
it's a
unseen-
bank.
bank
It's
of
a
unseen
huge,
results.
yeah, exactly.
So you're bored with this.
No. This is your total account, which requires many different bodies to exhaust.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes? Now, out of this huge balance, you can't exhaust everything in one body, because the body is finite body. It has only 80, 100 years. So that's not enough Okay? So that means out of this huge account of what we call Sanchita Karma, a given set gives rise to one given body and mind. This is what we call Prarabdha Karma.
Can you say that again?
Prarabdha. Arabdha. Arabdha means already begun and following in order. Prakarshena Arabdha Karma.
So it is a given personal account.
Given personal account. Out of this huge, one given set begins to fructify, to give you your specific experiences.
And whatever we do with that body, it gets
Now,
accumulated.
1 minute. Yeah, exactly. So now you have this body and you have this mind, which is result of your prarabdha karma. So you go through situations in life which are unique to you. Right? When you go through situations, you not only just experience the situations, what do? You also respond. So that means while exhausting the past karma, you are also what? Accumulating new karma. This karma that you accumulate during your lifetime is called agami karma. So there is sanchita karma, there is prarabdha karma, and there is agami karma. Okay? That you accumulate during your lifetime. Now, Anand's question is, now and that goes on. That goes on as long as the ignorance remains intact.
That is Kriyaman.
Sir?
Yes, it's same. Kriyaman.
Kriyaman is the same.
Same. Then Agami.
Agami, yes.
Okay.
What happens if Anand's question is, in one lifetime, with this given prarabdha karma, you have come with this given body and mind, and you have solved the whole problem by knowing your true nature. Okay? What happens to sanchita karma, which is this whole big account? Okay? Now, the account holder, the entity itself is what? Gone. Because what do I, where do I put my I? The Panditaha, where do they put their I? Not in this entity, but where? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Okay? So my I is totally
Dissolved.
Exactly.
Dissolved.
right? So that means the entire Sanchita is gone at that given point in time. The minute you understand accurately what Shastra is saying, without your own projections, without your own creation of some reality which does not correspond to the facts, okay? The entire account, because that individuality which I thought was my reality is totally negated. So the entire Sanchita is gone. The Agami, which is what?
Your contribution.
What you get in this life is also what? It's washed off, because you are no longer this entity. The only thing which remains is what we call prarabdha karma. Prarabdha karma still remains. Okay? Because why? It has already begun to fructify. It has already given it has given rise to this body and mind. Prarabdha remains. Why does prarabdha remain? For two reasons. Several reasons. One is, imagine somebody tells you, the minute you remove this ignorance, you will go away from this world.
Maybe you don't want to remove it.
Exactly.
You put at least some account here.
Exactly. Right? So, nobody wants to disappear the minute, right? That is the first thing. Yeah.
The word moksha.
Yeah. The word moksha, people get scared then. They get scared of moksha. Exactly. The second thing is, all these lifetimes, you have lived what? As little jiva, constantly afflicted. You are given few years to enjoy what? The knowledge.
The fruit, the real fruits.
The real fruit of this knowledge.
Which are at the top.
Yeah, exactly. And engage with the world with what? A totally different
Totally
vision
different worldview.
and total different
Awareness.
worldview and total different meaning and total different what?
Awareness.
Awareness.
Yeah, exactly. That is something which is very necessary. Fruit of your knowledge.
That's right.
The third thing is, if everybody who knows goes away, who will be the teacher?
Yeah.
There is a function to it.
Sharing.
Sharing. Because you need a guru to remove the ignorance. If everybody who is alive is ignorant, who will remove ignorance? Try to read these books. Take a dictionary. Read. It will tell you exactly, precise meanings. Atma is unborn, eternal, lovely. It will only create concepts. You will not get anything out of this.
You'll get marks.
You will get marks. Yes, exactly. Okay? You need teachers who have understood the vision and who will transfer this vision.
So for you no chance, huh? You have to Prarabdha karma.
So,
always
your
come with
Prarabdha is started.
Surya and they are stuck.
Prarabdha started.
Prarabdha started, right? So this is where this only what does not go is Prarabdha karma.
Okay.
Once the Prarabdha karma goes, then there is no Sanchita karma remaining anymore to give next birth to the individual. Because birth means you come connected to one given body and mind, and you take yourself to be body and mind. But that ignorance is already solved.
So for that person,
Yes.
the birth and the death,
Yes,
they lose their previous significance.
yes, correct, absolutely. Yeah.
Because there will be no body.
That's right. So,
Yeah.
the previous significance that we attach to birth and death.
But at this stage, they can do anything they want. Like there's no.
That's a very good point, right? Because
Very good point.
karma does not touch them. Therefore, you can say a Jnani recognizes that awareness is never connected to anything, right? And it is never affected by anything. There is no birth, there is no death, it doesn't undergo any changes, it is always pure. Now let me shoot people around, because anyway, their Atma also is...
Find a new body.
Exactly. So this is why, in order to become Jnani, it is not that easy. You listen to Shastra, it tells one thing, you listen to it for 100 years, you will still be caught in your own framework. You need maturity to understand what Shastra is saying and to hold the vision and to live that vision. Okay? This is why, even though it is an accomplished fact, the nature of Atma is an accomplished fact, to understand that reality about Atma accurately, without adding your own meanings, you need a lot of preparation. And the whole part of Karma Yoga is about that preparation. Because without which, the knowledge will not take place. Imagine a child goes and sits in the class of what? Quantum physics PhD. The teacher is telling the truth. And child probably is bright too. You think the child will understand the PhD level class? The first, there is a series of preparation which is necessary. You first have to enroll in primary school, then secondary school, then undergraduate, then what? Masters and then PhD. For knowing Atma, what is the preparation?
Is Jnana Margam only way?
No. That what is the marga we'll see. What is the preparation? You are listening to the Shastra with a mind which thinks, what? I am useless. Right? The world is so bad.
Or I am great.
Or I am great. This little ego thinks I am great. you have so many distortions, you have so many wrong understanding of what you are, what is the nature of the world, what is the nature of the cause of the universe. This mind, which is clouded by lots of wrong understanding, is listening to Shastra. Shastra will not penetrate even a little. Because when you receive these words, you will what? Distort them and create your own meanings, which has got nothing to do with what Shastra is talking about.
I will use that to fit in my model.
Exactly. You will use it to fit in your existing model, which itself is fraught with thousands of errors. Okay. What do you need?
You need guidance.
You need to work on your mind in a way that it becomes prepared, because to receive this knowledge in a way that the meanings are not distorted by you.
Open mind.
Yeah. And understood accurately. Okay. If the mind, when we have all these different problems of frustration, feeling of a victim, feeling useless and all that, but they come from a big psychological background which has series of wrong understanding. If simple things I project and I can't see things then clearly, how will I understand this subtle vision, which is so subtle, so refined, accurately? Because you have only one mind to transact in the world and what? Understand things. You need preparation. You need a healthy mind which is able to see things as they are without distorting the realities. Okay? To be able to understand the words of Shastra as they are, so that they create right meanings in you.
Which means the mind can take us deeper into ignorance, and the same mind, if used as a medium for enlightenment, it can be our friend.
Excellent. There is a very nice verse in Bhagavad Gita.
Uddharetatmanam.
It's
Right.
here.
Which one? Okay.
Sixth. There is sixth.
Little
I think it is there.
It's there. It's there. Okay? So therefore, even though you are not the mind, the only place where this knowledge takes place is where? In the mind.
In the mind.
Mind is where ignorance is, mind is where the knowledge takes place. In order for knowledge to take place, you need to prepare the mind. This is Ishvara, we will see what Ishvara is. Until you are ready, knowledge will never take place. It will keep it a secret. It will keep on going above you. You will continue to remain untouched by this reality if you are not ready.
So how do we prepare ourselves?
So that is the next portion of Gita. How do you prepare yourself for this knowledge? Karma Yoga. There are lots of things which are talked about.
Meditation.
Lots of things. Right? How does now, the whole question becomes, how does one prepare oneself to be eligible for this knowledge? Okay. Now, before it goes on, there is just the one last verse which we will see, which is talking about the reality. Surya, should I stop? Yeah, sorry, I stop.
And you can take the...
I just take one more verse
Yeah,
because
you
then
take, because it is in the continuum.
it is in continuity.
So
After
take
that, the whole topic changes to Karma Yoga.
So you
Right?
take the...
So, the last verse, which is talking about this reality, is Gita chapter 2, verse 23. Okay? So, here it is still talking about Atma. It says, Nainam chindanti shastrani, Nainam dahati pavakaha, Nachainam kledayantyapaha, Nashoshayati marutaha. You repeat after me. Nainam chindanti shastrani.
Nainam chindanti
shastrani.
Nainam dahati pavakaha.
Nainam dahati pavakaha.
Nachainam kledayantyapaha.
Nachainam kledayantyapaha.
Nashoshayati marutaha.
Nashoshayati marutaha.
Okay, so the nature of Atma, it says that the weapons do not slay the self, nor does the fire burn it, water does not wet or drown the Atma, nor does wind dry it. Okay? What is the purpose of this verse? Okay? The whole Drishya Jagat that we saw, somebody said here, I think two people said here, it is nothing but what? Different, if you use Vedic model, it is nothing but what we call these 5 elements. What are the 5 elements? Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha and Prithvi. Akasha is the space, Vayu is the wind, Agni is the fire, Apaha is the water and Prithvi is the earth. Okay, so that means the whole universe that we used quantum physics to say it is nothing but atoms and particles, if you use Vedic model, it is nothing but combination of what? 5 elements. Okay, so these, everything that you see is a combination of these 5 elements. The body is also what? Combination of these 5 elements. It's what? Mostly water, or the weight that you have is mostly water. Okay? Then there is digestive fire, then air that you breathe, then earth, the whole skin and everything is made of earth, and then there is space in between where all the activities take place. Okay? So even this body is nothing but 5 elements. According to the Vedic vision, this subtle body that you have is also nothing but 5 elements. Yeah. So that means your sense organs, your mind, everything is nothing but made up of those 5 subtle elements. So this is why they give you some correspondence. They say that your eyes can see the forms. Okay, the Agni is what? The first element which is having a form, and then your eyes has that capacity to see the forms.
Okay.
Okay. The Akasha has in which the sounds travel, and your ears have what? Capacity to hear. So there is a correspondence between your subtle capacities and 5 elements. So your hearing is governed by Akasha. Your eyes are governed by Agni. Okay. Your Akasha, Vayu. Your whole, sorry?
Sense of touch?
Yeah, is by Vayu.
Touch is
Touch, yeah. The touch is, okay.
or smell is
The
fire.
smell is nose. Smell is nose.
But
Smell is
is Vayu.
So that is connected to earth.
Earth.
Acha.
Earth has,
Yeah, earth is smell.
Okay. Earth is smell
And the taste is water.
taste is water.
and taste is water.
Water. Okay. So that means even your subtle senses are governed by what? The 5 elements.
Okay.
Okay. So that means you have put your eye in where? These 5 elements.
5 elements.
Because the body is nothing but 5 elements.
The mind is also.
Mind is also nothing but 5 elements. Okay. What he says is that this Atma is not what? The body is made up of 5 elements, which is Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Apaha, Prithvi. So it is what? Coming from 5 elements and it goes into 5 elements. Atma is ever affected by the characteristics of 5 elements?
No.
No. So this is what it's saying in the verse. Shastra stands for earth.
Okay.
It is not affected by what? The 5 elements. One is earth, then Nainam, the fire, which is the second element, it is never touched by fire. The body is subject to burning. Atma is never affected by the 5 elements, right? Fire, water, which is, it does not get wet, body gets wet, but because it is function of those 5 elements, Atma is untouched by the 5 elements, okay? Nor the winds can dry it. The body needs air to live. Atma does not need air to survive. Okay? So this is what it says. The whole Drishya Jagat is made up of 5 elements and a certain permutation and combination of 5 elements. Atma. And within that, every object in Drishya Jagat is subject to, it gets affected by these 5 elements. But Atma is not subject to any activities that take place within the different permutation and combination of these 5 elements.
So the Atma and awareness are one and the same.
Yeah, exactly. Atma is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Okay? It is, Atma is I. Before you know the knowledge, where do you put your I? In Sthula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, and at times Karana Sharira. After knowing the reality, where is your Atma? In that awareness. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Okay, so now how does one prepare one's mind for this knowledge? So that is whole section of Karma Yoga that we will see tomorrow.
So Puran Bhai, now you know Akash, with Shunya Mudra, you improve your hearing.
Very good.
You see how it is really, I think, yeah.
All these 5 elements, we are constantly balancing in our body.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shri Guru Namaha. Hari Om.